with Gunther having recently surpassed the Honky Tonk Man. With Gunther having recently surpassed the Honky Tonk Man's record as the longest reigning Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of all time, Imperium held a celebratory ceremony tonight. In addition to Cody Rhodes making an appearance, we also saw Rhea Ripley defend her Women's World Championship against one of the only women who can match her for power, Raquel Rodriguez. Let's take a look at everything that went down on tonight's episode of Raw, for this is Ridiculously Raw. Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined by good old MF Michael Fletcher. Wow. Before we start, what a game we are seeing right now. The Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets tied at 16 in overtime. The Bills had the ball first. They score a touchdown, they win. So we will keep an eye on it. So batten down the hatches. We got a Shakespearean drama classic in the Meadowlands. And I know we're going to have plenty more to say about it as part of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. But right now, that's Friday. Tonight, this is all about Ridiculously Raw. And Monday Night Raw, of course, live tonight from the legendary Norfolk Scope in Norfolk, Virginia, on the USA Network. And we started it off with an in-ring promo, main event Jey Uso, interrupted by Kevin Owens, and then interrupted by the Judgment Day. And Jey Uso suggested, hey, KO, how about we team up against Judgment Day since Sami Zayn isn't here tonight? So we started it off with that tag team matchup, as it was the unlikely team of Jey Uso and Kevin Owens squaring off against the undisputed tag team champions Finn Balor and Damian Priest. And Finn Balor and Damian Priest win the match, 12.5 minutes. Solid tag team match that did a good job making it clear that Jey and KO do not have the same chemistry as they do with their respective partners, Jimmy Uso and Sami Zayn. Jey accidentally hit Owens with a super kick and paved the way for Balor to hit the coup de grace for the win. The announcers did a great job laying out why this ending is going to make it harder for Jey to earn anyone's respect. Jey's super kick to Dom looked tremendous. WWE needs to stop turning the crowd volume up when Dom speaks. The crowd boos loud enough without the production team needing to make it sound louder. It's just excessive and not nearly as special as it would be if the noise sounded natural. Balor's new moniker is Grand Slam Finn Balor. Considering a bunch of people have hit that milestone, it's shocking he is the first one to use the term Grand Slam as a nickname. And KO's Fisherman Buster is one of his coolest moves. Give it about 3.25, 3.5 stars for the effort. So not much more to say on this. So MF, Finn Balor is defeating Jey Uso and Kevin Owens, 12.5 minutes to start the action after a long talking segment with those same four.
Yeah, no, this was a solid opener and a really good job to start it off more than anything else. It could have been better in certain areas, no doubt. But like you said, the chemistry was not there for Jey Uso and for Kevin Owens. You would think it would have worked, but it did not. And at the end of the day, that was just kind of unfortunate more than anything else. But hey, it is what it is. So there's nothing more to say. And Anthony,
Jets win it.
It's over.
Touchdown. Can you believe it?
The Jets doesn't even.
No problem.
Problem.
They got this.
Unreal. 3-and-out. Well,
they deserve that win.
An injury that occurred early in the game because of the fact that there was a little bit of a false start, bad penalty for Buffalo. You could say supposedly you could call it a 3-and-out. Fine, whatever. Punt situation. Next thing you know, they get it. Next thing you know, it's over. End zone touchdown, and the Jets and the Dolphins are 1-0 in the young NFL East. Buffalo and New England dropped to 0-1, but I gotta say, No shame for Buffalo, man. They'll be fine. They'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I know a lot of people are probably mad. And I know Bills fans are probably going to be mad with this loss, but they'll be fine. They'll be all right. This was just an unfortunate, both teams went through this one. Bills Mafia's not happy tonight. Probably going to put somebody through a table. But for the Jets, yes, it's a big win. But now you got to wonder what's the severity of the Aaron Rodgers. It looks like it's an ankle injury, but we'll get into it on, like I said, on Friday night. But great game, great game to end it.
And this just in, MF. Jets Cowboys game of the week Sunday for us.
All right.
Because both teams are 1-0.
Yep.
So
I don't mind going to. I don't think we'll have any problems going to Jerry's World.
And it's only fitting we get the Nance game. So
yeah,
we go by records, and that's the only matchup out of all the games on our end of the ledger next week. That's the only one with a battle of 1-0s. So
yep.
And after what Dallas did last night, I mean, it's going to be good. It's going to be real good. So what a win. So, all right, MF, let's get back to the match here. Unless you already gave your thoughts.
Like I said, I gave it 3.5 stars, and yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Okay, so hard to regroup from that, but we're going to regroup from it. All right, we had a cutout here. The Miz against Akira Tozawa. Miz wins the match 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Yeah, we're not going to even dignify that.
Well, it was only it's the only thing that you can only say about it is that the Miz gets his revenge on Tozawa, especially after what happened a week ago, more than anything else, because there was no LA Knight this time around to cause the drama that they did the first time around. And yeah, there's really nothing more to add. So it was kind of more that the Miz just gets the bounce back win, and that's all that matters on that. So yeah.
Yep, and of course Friday night on SmackDown, Miz and LA Knight 1-on-1. So
yes, indeed,
the return match from Payback, which we will address Saturday night as part of the Cerebral Smack Talks. So all right, then we had a lot of backstage stuff, and then we had the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship celebration for Gunther. Gunther, now the longest Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of all time. He surpassed the Honky Tonk Man's record, and with that victory over Chad Gable a week ago. And so, MF, I mean, Chad Gable came out to challenge Gunther for one more shot at the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Segment ended in a brawl that Otis joined when his partner was in danger. So, so I think we're looking at possibly Gunther Gable 3.
Yeah, and a lot of people's been saying that. A lot of people feel like Gunther Gable 3 is going to happen. And if you have been noticing, a lot of people believe that that Gable might be the one to end Gunther's reign. And if he is, well-deserved. I think, like you said, you've noticed that there's a new attitude with Gunther. Gunther wanted it. He wants the moment. He wants to win it. He wants to take he wants the opportunity. I don't blame him that he wants to win it. So, with everything that rode on and everything that went down, I'm not gonna disagree with that feeling or that sentiment. So, yeah, we got nothing more to say, and we'll see how it plays out in just a little bit. But yeah, I think like I said, Gable's no longer the funny ha-ha shoosh or the thank you. This time he's made it personal. After Gunther blasted over the fact that he saw Gable's daughter crying and he mocked that moment behind the scenes, Gable is out for blood now. Gable is out for blood and he's out for revenge. So, he made this personal. and Gunther may have barked up the wrong tree, but we'll see. So nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah. This was as predictable as it gets, but it was fine for what it was. Gable absolutely deserves to be the man to dethrone Gunther, so it made sense. The pyro on the ring was a nice touch. WWE barely ever uses pyro anywhere but the stage these days. And Chad Gable using his crying daughter as motivation to win the title did not seem to matter for the crowd. But good story. But I think maybe Fastlane, maybe sooner. I don't know. We'll see. But that's what it's looking like to me. And if that match does get made official, Gable's winning the title. Gunther's already got the record, so that would be perfect. All right. Okay, so with that being said, next up we got Drew McIntyre squaring off against Xavier Woods. Drew McIntyre wins the match, 9 minutes and 45 seconds. After some accidents and misunderstandings in recent weeks, Drew McIntyre and Xavier Woods decided to have a singles match to settle their differences. Since both of these superstars are babyfaces, the match started out relatively clean, but things picked up right before the commercial break when McIntyre threw Woods onto the announce table. The second half of the match was a lot more aggressive and featured some stiff strikes and close 2 counts. McIntyre picks up the win with a Claymore, but it feels like this story is far from over. I'm going to give this about another 3.25 stars. The look on McIntyre's face after Woods chopped him across the back was hilarious. Xavier Woods is one of the best at selling in WWE. He has great body language and facial expressions when he is making his opponent look good. And that's pretty much all I can say on that. So a solid 3 to 3.25 on this one, leaning more towards 3.25 for this. But nonetheless, Drew McIntyre knocking off Xavier Woods, 9:45.
Yeah, and it was a solid match. I could say about 2.5 to 3. I'll give you that. Could have been a different outcome or different things, but at the end of the day, I think they did the right thing here. So yes, absolutely. Drew getting a big win, nice win for him. Really nothing more to add. So yeah, Anthony, it's yours.
Okay. All right, let's see. Next up. Oh, not the wrong way. All right. Looks like we have another cutout here. Then we had Cody Rhodes come out, did the trademark, what do you want to talk about? And then interrupted by Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Wade Barrett said it best on commentary. I want to know what Cody was going to say. Yeah, you're not alone there, Wade. Cody beating up 2 heels was a crowd-pleasing moment for sure. But not just me, but I think we were all hoping that the Cody character would explain why he pushed for Jey Uso to come to Raw. Most people assume that Cody will end up being traded to SmackDown in exchange for Jey, but it feels like it's only something they talk about on the Friday night show. So, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with that. So, nothing to really get into there. Neither is this. Shayna Baszler versus Chelsea Green. Shayna Baszler wins the match, 1 minute and 50 seconds. Of course, this was the other meh fight of the night. The couple of minutes we got were fine, but what happened after the bout is what matters the most. Piper Niven attacked Shayna Baszler after she scored the win, but Zoe Stark ran down to make the save. Looks like we know who will be the next challengers for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Looks like Chelsea and Piper will be the champions, and it looks like Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler apparently will be the next challengers. So, and it will be very interesting to see how WWE books Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. Both women work well as heels, but it seems like WWE is toying with the idea of making them baby faces. And Baszler using Ronda Rousey's old finisher would mean more if it was a move she won a lot of matches with, but it's not. She only used it a handful of times. So Not really going to get into that. That was a dud. That was the worst fight of the night. And then from there, we had the world heavyweight champion, Seth freaking Rollins, calling out Shinsuke Nakamura one more time. And then Nakamura with another good video. I was hoping we would get something announced for Fastlane, but that promo left us assuming that might not happen until next week. And then Ricochet and then Nakamura attacked Ricochet's. So, but we'll see what happens with that. So then we had a 6-man tag team match stemming from that Gunther ceremony segment earlier in the evening. All 3 members of Imperium, Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci, squaring off against the Alpha Academy, Chad Gable and Otis, and their partner, Tommaso Ciampa. And the winners of the match, in 13 and a half minutes, the babyface team, Alpha Academy, Tommaso Ciampa, Chad Gable, tapping out Giovanni Vinci with the ankle lock. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. This was well done, and it kept the storyline going for another week. The combo of Ciampa and Alpha Academy felt so random. It's always nice to see Ciampa wrestle, but it would have made more sense for this to be just a standard tag bout. Watching Chad Gable deadlift a grown man off the mat to hit a German suplex, that Chaos Theory will never stop being entertaining. And the triple team spot Imperium hit on Gable in the corner looked brutal. So, like I said, 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star. One of the fights of the night for sure. So MF, it was Alpha Academy, Tommaso Ciampa knocking off Imperium, 13 and a half minutes. Chad Gable tapping out Giovanni Vinci.
Yeah, look, solid matchup, no doubt about it. 3.5 stars, like you said, and yeah, it's all yours, Anthony.
Okay. Just need a moment here to see what's next up. All right, I believe we're at the main event here, but there was some backstage stuff. Finn Balor. Well, there was some Judgment Day stuff in the back, and then we had a we rarely see these. We had a backstage contract signing for the NXT Women's Championship match that will take place tomorrow night on NXT with the man Becky Lynch and, of course, the NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton. They put pen to paper. Apparently, Adam Pearce and Shawn Michaels had a little convo, and there you go. So we had it's very rare that we see contract signings held in the backstage area, but very interesting. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't put this on the show, but okay. So, but nonetheless, tomorrow night in the main event of NXT, Becky Lynch challenging Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Women's Championship, and we will talk about that Wednesday night on Wednesday Night Madness. And that leads us to the main event of the evening. Of course, one match announced for next week. Shinsuke Nakamura will go one-on-one with Ricochet in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City, Utah is where Raw will eliminate next week. And now we go to the main event of the evening. Speaking of return matches from Payback, here's another one. Rhea Ripley defending the Women's World Championship against Raquel Rodriguez. Remember, Dominic Mysterio banned from ringside. Winner of the match, 15 minutes and 15 seconds. And still, the Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley. You would think, yeah, that Dom, they probably did a ref bump. Dom found his way in there. No, that did not happen. What did happen? Possibly to the delight of some, oh dear God, no, to some of the others. Nia Jax is back. Nia Jax laid out Raquel Rodriguez, and that's what did it. So Whoa. Okay. MF, do you lead off on this or do I lead off on this? I mean,
I lead off on this, and I'm going to say this.
15-15.
For what it's worth, it was a fine main event. It was a good match, no doubt. The Nia Jax involvement kind of takes away a little bit of the main event, but not in a way that I know a lot of people are going to be angry about. Nia getting involved and costing Raquel will open the door for her that Raquel can say, "Hey, wait a minute, I deserve one more shot. I got denied the big moment." But what also you can say is Nia Jax went on her own. She wants that title, and she made it abundantly clear because she laid out the Women's World Champion as well. So Nia was not doing this just to help Rhea. No, she went out there to make an impact and to practically say, I'm here for your belt. Your belt belongs to me. So if you're Rhea Ripley, you got to watch yourself now. So this is going to get very interesting. This is going to get it's very telling what's going to happen now. So, wow. That's all I can say is just wow. So, am I happy Nia Jax is back? Look, I'm not going to be that harsh about her. I mean, it's been a minute, so I'm not going to be too hard on Nia coming back, but some people are going to love her coming back. Some people, not so much. There's really nothing more for me to say. It was the fight of the night, 3.5 stars. It was a solid main event. It's a nice surprise. And on top of that, with the storyline progression and everything else, I don't know. We'll wait and see. But it's going to be very interesting to say more than anything else now that Nia Jax is in the building. Oh, boy. Monday Night Raw just got very interesting. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Business has picked up in the women's division.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. But one person on social media, I wanted to see what his reaction was going to be. He simply said, "Jesus, for the love of God, no." That's all he said. So there's no doubt about that. And I know that's how a good majority of the folks feel about it. But nonetheless, it was the fight of the night. I'm actually going to be generous. I'm actually going to give it a 4-star rating. As two of the most powerful women on the roster, both competitors seem to feel comfortable doing things they might not do with smaller or weaker opponents. They had a great feud in NXT, but this was their first legitimate singles match on the main roster, so they were clearly looking to impress with their performance. Unfortunately, we were never going to get a clean finish to this. However, it wasn't someone from Judgment Day who interfered. Nia Jax made her return and attacked Raquel Rodriguez while referee Sean Bennett was distracted, making it easy for the Eradicator to get the win. When the match was over, Nia Jax attacked Rhea Ripley to end the show. The match was good and definitely worth watching, but we will have to see where this ends up leading. There is something about Rhea Ripley that brings out the best in Raquel Rodriguez. She is just different when she is in the ring with the Eradicator. Some people just have that perfect opponent for Rodriguez. It might be Ripley. The sunset flip counter Ripley used to escape a powerbomb looked great. Rodriguez kicking Ripley into the barricade would have looked better had Rodriguez not hesitated when she was about to get a running start. It was a minor thing that probably won't stand out to most people, though. Rhea Ripley hit a frog splash, complete with an Eddie Guerrero pose. And Nia Jax has lost a lot of weight and clearly worked to get herself into better shape for her return. So, be interesting to see what happens with this. But 4 stars, fight of the night for me. So, Monday Night Raw tonight with stiff competition from what ended up being an unbelievable Monday night game tonight, even though it didn't go the way I had hoped. But, it's only one game. It is what it is. tonight's episode of Raw had a few really good matches and moments, but the show as a whole was largely forgettable. A 3-hour show only having 6 matches is not that ridiculous when you consider that most pay-per-views are 3 hours with 6 or 7 matches. But when a couple of those matches are 5 minutes or less, there will be a lot of filler. The 6-man tag match and the main event were definitely highlights, but Xavier Woods versus Drew McIntyre and the opening tag match with the Judgment with Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Kevin Owens and Jey Uso were both fun in their own way. If this show had 1 or 2 more matches and didn't have so many interviews, promos, and video packages, it would have been much more enjoyable. But we did have, like I said, those 4 quality matches. The main event, definitely the fight of the night. 6-man tag was good. Woods and McIntyre, the opening tag. So I'm gonna give this about maybe 7.5, a solid 7.5 at best. So not much more to say here. MF, your thoughts on this Monday Night Raw from the legendary Norfolk Scope? I'm leaning 7.5.
I'm probably saying it's about 7.5. It is a solid show. It was a good event. There's really not much to say other than that, but it was a solid Monday Night Raw, which I think we can definitely say has been the norm in the last few months. Is that it's been solid to good, nothing great, nothing spectacular, but it is a passable show, and I think the fans will be very happy with what they got here tonight. So nothing more to say, and Anthony, it's yours.
All right, MF, we have a special Tony's take, and there's one thing during this that I want to get a quick thought on from you when I cue you up. So, but anyways, this past Friday night, Impact Wrestling presented another monthly Impact Plus special, Victory Road, from the Westchester County Center in White Plains, New York. It aired exclusively on Impact Plus, as well as YouTube for all of you who have the that insider package. And I think it also aired on Fight TV as well. We had 2 pre-show matches. All right. Well, actually, there's a couple of things that I want to get MF's quick thoughts on. This is the first one. This was a pre-show match. Alan Angels, Alan Angels, formerly the Dark Order. He in AEW, he issued an open challenge. And who answered that open challenge? MF, this is someone you know very well from the old days of ECW. Little Guido Maritano.
I could not believe I heard it. Yeah, it's Little Guido Maritano, formerly of the FBI. It's Nunzio from WWE. Little Guido. Everybody knows the craziness that he is. The Sicilian Slice is all you need to know. This was a shocker when we heard Guido Maritano. I kind of fell out of my chair. What? Type of a thing. So there's really nothing more to say. So Anthony, it's yours.
I know. The only thing I know that would have made you literally fall out of your chair is if he had his boy Tony Mamaluke with him.
Oh, don't even get me started with that.
Yeah. So
don't even get me started with Tony Mamaluke.
I know how much you love those guys in the old ECW. So
sure.
You were big fans of those guys. I mean,
I was.
Yep. Or the big fella. But
actually, the big fella is no longer with us. He passed away years ago.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Big Guido. No, he passed away a long time ago.
I gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So, but anyways, Alan Angels issued an open challenge. Little Guido Maritano answered it, but Alan Angels went on to win the match, 5 minutes and 26 seconds. The other pre-show match was ABC, Ace Austin and Chris Bay squaring off against Moose and Brian Myers. ABC wins the match, 8 minutes and 49 seconds. Now to the main card. Here's an MF special for you. For the Impact X Division Championship, the champion Lio Rush defending against Kushida. Winner of the match in 10 minutes and 9 seconds. And still the Impact X Division champion, the man of the hour, Lio Rush. Definitely an MF special. I know MF would have loved that match.
It was a heck of just the storyline alone of the match made it as unique and interesting more than anything else. But at the end of the day, the right man won. The right man went over. Lio Rush deserved the moment. So I actually am not mad that Lio won. Lio won this match.
Okay. Another title match, this time for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship. The champions MK Ultra, Killer Kelly, and Masha Slamovich defending against the Sean Taraj, Giselle Shaw, and Savannah Evans. Winners of the match, 8 minutes and 12 seconds, and still the Knockouts Tag Team Champions MK Ultra, Killer Kelly, and Masha Slamovich retain the titles. Crazy Steve going up against his now former partner, Black Taurus. Crazy Steve wins the match, 9 minutes and 4 seconds. One of the big matches on the card here, title versus career for the Impact Digital Media Championship. The Digital Media Champion, Kenny King, with Sheldon Jean in his corner, defending against Tommy Dreamer. The caveat was for Tommy Dreamer, if he had lost, he would have had to retire from in-ring competition. Winner of the match, 12 minutes and 14 seconds, and new Impact Digital Media Champion Tommy Dreamer wins the title. One last title run for the heart and soul of ECW. So I'm sure MF's like, wow, one more title run for a man who has given his life for this business. And wow, definitely, if you like those, inspirational, redemption, comeback, underdog stories, this is for you. And
yeah.
But Tommy Dreamer, career goes on, MF. The heart and soul of ECW does it again.
He does it again. A lot of people are happy that he did it. There are some that kind of feels like, did he truly deserve this moment, though? I know there's a lot of people who are still harboring some ill will towards Tommy Dreamer for comments that he made in the Dark Side of the Ring, especially the plane ride from hell, and we talked about that very carefully and religiously in the past. So there's some people who are happy that he won it all, but there are also some people that are not so thrilled that Tommy is the champion. But regardless of the situation, regardless of if you were on his side or not on his side, this is an excellent moment. This was a well-deserved moment, and I'm very happy that this man is now the digital media champion, but more importantly, that his career is not over, that he could actually have, like you said, one more run, one more opportunity to show the world why he is one of the best in the game. So congratulations to Tommy Dreamer for winning the title. But again, not everybody is going to be 1,000% on board with Dreamer being the champion, though. I think they would have been mind that he would still be wrestling than everything else. But, for him to be the digital media champion, like I said, there are going to be some fans that's going to feel like this is going to rub him the wrong way. But again, we don't know for sure. But like I said, I'm happy that that Tommy won the belt. So that I will agree with. So Florio, it's yours.
All right. The virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo squaring off against the returning Jordynne Grace. The story going into this, Deonna Purrazzo having the number of Jordynne Grace. Not anymore. Jordynne Grace finally breaks through. She finally defeats Deonna Purrazzo. Jordynne Grace winning the match, 11 minutes and 48 seconds. Jordynne gets the monkey off her back, if you will. Next up, here's an MF special. Anything Goes match. Bully Ray squaring off against PCO. PCO wins the match, 9 minutes and 46 seconds. Then we had the battle for the Impact World Tag Team Championship. The champions, the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, defending against perhaps the greatest Impact World Tag Team Champions of all time, the Motor City Machine Guns, the Impact World Heavyweight Champion Alex Shelley, and Chris Sabin. Winners of the match, 13 minutes and 51 seconds. And still, the World Tag Team Champions, it is the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. Nefarious Means, of course. And then we had the battle for the Knockouts Championship. The champion Trinity defending against a surprise challenger here, Alicia Edwards. Of course, Alicia Edwards, the wife of Eddie Edwards. Alicia Edwards recently winning a number one contender battle royale on Impact a couple of weeks ago or so. But Friday night was not Alicia's night because the winner of the match, 8 minutes and 58 seconds, and still the Impact Knockouts World Champion. It is Trinity. Before we get into the main event of the evening, MF, this is something I want to get a quick thought on from you here. Tom Hannafin and Matthew Raywalt, they made the announcement of the first inductees. Yes, I said inductees, plural, not one, two. As you all know, Saturday night, October 21st, is the next Impact event. Of course, it's the biggest of them all, Bound for Glory, which will emanate from the Cicero Stadium in Chicago, Illinois. Saturday night, October 21. And Impact Wrestling announced that the greatest broadcast team in Impact Wrestling history, Mike Tenay and the late, great Don West, will be enshrined in the Impact Hall of Fame at Bound for Glory. Wow. MF.
These were the two guys that started it all for all of us. These are the two guys that started it all for us when we started watching Impact Wrestling or TNA, NWA TNA. For us, this was as good as it would have gotten for us, and we were proud that this was the moment that we were hoping for. And I'm happy. I'm proud. Everything that we were hoping for and everything that it went down, and it could not have gone down any better than what it did. For Tenay and Don West to get the magical moment, to know that they're going to be going into the Hall of Fame. And, you know, there's certain guys who you could say are like pioneers of Impact. These were pioneers. These were two of the guys that originally started it all way back when it was NWA TNA. You remember that, Anthony?
Absolutely.
The Wednesday night pay-per-views that were like $10 a week at the time. But even then, when they went off to Fox Sports, and then you had, you know, whatever you wanted to say, at the end of the day, this was well-deserved. This was a true honor. And I know when you sent this, I think there was that little gleam of pride that we all had that this happened. So we were ecstatic. We're happy. We're proud. Congratulations to, you know, Mike Tenay, Don West. We're always thinking about you, my friend. Each and every time out, we're thinking about you. We miss you. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. So yeah, well deserved. Well deserved is all I can say. So
Amen.
Nothing more to say, Anthony. Yeah, it's your moment, man. Yeah. The guys are going in. The guys are going in. That's the big thing.
That would be like if you and me. That would be like you and me going into the Hall of Fame. I mean, and if you notice, if you watch the broadcast, when the video package was done, Tom Hannafin was clearly emotional. I mean, you saw Tom Hannafin, Tom Phillips. He was very emotional. I could see it in his eyes. He was about to break down. I think that's how much it means to him. Because hey, Mike Tenay and Don West paved the way for for a lot of great broadcast teams in Impact Wrestling history. I mean, Hannafin and Raywalt are absolutely killing it right now. I mean, they are right now the best. They're probably the best team since Tenay and West. I mean, don't get me wrong. There've been some good ones. I mean, Matt Stryker and D'Lo Brown were pretty good. They had a nice little run. Josh Matthews. I'll even give it to Josh Matthews and Don Callis. I mean, I thought they did a good job. Josh Matthews with the Pope D'Angelo De Niro, Elijah Burke. I mean, they had a nice little run. Mike Tenay with Taz. I mean, but when it comes to Impact Wrestling, as great as Hannafin and Raywell are right now, Tenay and West wrote the book. I mean, they paved the way, and I, for one, couldn't be any happier to see these guys. Mike Tenay with that professor knowledge, which, you know, I take after nowadays, and especially when I'm hosting the show, and of course Don West with that infectious enthusiasm and energy that he always brought to the shows, especially the early days.
And I can attest, and I know Anthony, you can attest to that. That's kind of more my style.
Exactly.
It's because I'm always I don't know. I got into labeled as like the Energizer Bunny. A lot of my friends are like, how do I have all that energy? How am I always fired up? I honestly say this. When it comes to like the Brawling, like if you consider us the Brawling Brutes, I'm definitely the Butch of the group. I'm like a house of fire. I'm like a tornado rolling in. House of fire, always fired up, always,
I guess that would make Bullock the Ridge Holland and me the Sheamus.
I kind of feel like you're more of the Ridge Holland and Bullock is more of the Sheamus.
Okay.
Because I don't see you doing the fella thing or anything like that. Bullock definitely does it more than you. But that's just me personally. I kind of have you more as the Ridge Holland of the group.
Okay, that's fair enough. Fair assessment. So, but nonetheless, though, MF, I mean, our boys, Mike Tenay, Don West, will take their rightful place in the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame on their biggest night, October 21, as part of Bound for Glory. So, you know I'm going to be tuning in. You know that.
Absolutely, yes.
I can't wait to see it. I mean, you know, there's not going to be a dry eye in that house, especially Don West, and with his passing and how much he meant to the fans. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Tenay pulls a Bobby Heenan from 2004 saying only one thing's missing. I wish DW was here. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that. So that's going to be an emotional moment. And by the way, it's not going to stop. It's not going to be just them. Another Impact original is going to be going into the Hall of Fame. I'll have more on that next week, but MF, I'm going to send it to you in the chat because I'll get into it in just a little bit. We have one match left, and that was the main event of the evening, a match almost a year in the making. This match was originally supposed to be for the World Heavyweight Championship back in April at Rebellion. But Josh Alexander, of course, was injured, had to relinquish the title, and he finally got his hands on Steve Maclin. And this was the match we've been waiting for. And it's only fitting that they got to main event this special event. The walking weapon, Josh Alexander, squaring off against Steve Maclin. Josh Alexander wins the match, 18 minutes and 45 seconds, which was clearly the fight of the night. They stole the damn show. A 4 1/4, teetering on 4.5 stars. Amazing match. I watched it back and wow, incredible match. So that's Victory Road in a nutshell. Now, this past Saturday, Impact Wrestling taped what we're going to end up seeing on Thursday night. I'm excited about this show, but at the same time, there is a little bit of a lost excitement because of the fact that this is a taped show. I wish that for at least 1 week they would have done a live show, because MF this Thursday night on Impact Wrestling, it's not just any Impact Wrestling. It's the 1,000th episode of Impact Wrestling.
Wow. Yep.
You believe that?
1,000 episodes. Whoever would have thought they would make it that far? Remember, at the very beginning, there was financial trouble. Some people thought that the company was going to go under.
Yeah.
And they have survived, and they're thriving, and they're still going strong, and they finally made it 1,000 episodes of it's a remarkable feat. It's a remarkable feat. It's a remarkable number. And yeah, this show's good. Is being hyped as one of the biggest shows to date. And trust me, folks, you're not gonna want to miss this episode.
No.
Some of the surprises I didn't get all of the surprises, but I've heard about certain ones that had me very excited. I'll say that. One in particular, one of my all-time favorites, it's coming back for one night only, but God, do I miss her so much, and I'm so glad she's coming back.
And we will. And next week, we finally go back to the normal Tony's Take next week, in addition to Monday Night Raw, of course. My thoughts on, of course, I will have my thoughts on Impact 1000. That takes place this Thursday night, 8 p.m. Access TV, 8:30 p.m. on YouTube for those of you who have that insider membership. And, of course, it also airs on Impact Plus, like late night. I think they upload the episode into their archives. And also on Impact Plus, you can also relive those legendary NWA TNA weekly pay-per-view shows that Mike Tenay and Don West, got the ball rolling on. So this Thursday night, Impact 1000, and that's it. So MF, before we wrap up, usual start times for the shows this week?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So with that will put the ball on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in, as always. We will be back with you Wednesday night over on MF's channel, Race Fan 95, for another edition of Wednesday Night Madness. We got NXT, we got AEW Dynamite, and we will preview the season premiere of Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime Video. The Minnesota Vikings squaring off against the Philadelphia Eagles, the NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles, from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. Of course, next April, it will be the home of WrestleMania 40, of course. That will be on Wednesday. Thursday night, we got the week 3 edition of TXN Sports World College Football Thursday, also at 10:30 here on the Tone 25, as we'll get into the week 3 slate. I'll be honest with you, not really all that exciting, but there are some good ones here and there. So we'll get into that on Thursday. And then Friday night, we have the week 2 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday here on the Tone 25 at 10:30 on Friday night. We'll recap the Viking-Eagle matchup, and then we will get into the remaining games of week number 2. And then Saturday night, MF will have it, 10:30. It will be the Cerebral Smack Talk, Friday night SmackDown, and AEW Collision. And then next Monday night, we do it all over again. Ridiculously Raw, Monday Night Raw, and the return of my normal Tony's Take. And Impact 1000, of course. And then, of course, on top of that, NXT Level Up. So that's it. So until Wednesday night, for Wednesday Night Madness over on MF's channel, Racefan 95, it's Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher. And in spirit, the phenom Michael Bullock. And always and forever, the First Lady, Dee Dee Woodson. Yield the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up, Fortune Force style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Madness, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Zone 25 on YouTube and Streamy.com. And remember, my friends, no matter what anyone tells you beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.